The asteroid never struck the Earth 66 million years ago, and the dinosaurs were never wiped out. Humanity would have never happened. And the same can be said for the dinosaurs themselves. They owe their existence to two mass extinctions, one that happened right before their existence, and the other right when they were beginning. 250 million years ago, right before the dinosaurs, was the largest extinction event ever known in history, called the Great Dying. All the continents on the Earth were smashing together into one large supercontinent called Pangaea. The center of the continent was so dry because water from the outside of it, the oceans, couldn't make its way inland, and that caused so many droughts, causing the slow but gradual extinction of many species at the center of the continent. And even worse, as the continents were converging together, they started trapping all the heat from the mantle. It was bubbling up under the surface, and all that superheated lava was bubbling up and turning into a gigantic mantle plume, which had nowhere to go because all the continents were smashed together. So it opened a giant wound in the center of the continent, and bam, all that heat and all that toxic chemicals and smoke and all that stuff came bursting out, causing one of the largest extinctions ever. 96% of all marine life died out because all those toxic chemicals went into the ocean. The oceans became stagnant. The air was full of carbon dioxide. It really got heated up over time, caused immense global warming. And the toxic chemicals in the atmosphere burned away the ozone layer. So all that toxic radiation now came burrowing down onto the surface and wiping out 70% of all land species and 96% of all marine species. Even the trilobites, which existed for hundreds of millions of years before this, they were completely wiped out by this event. And what remained after that was a very dry, barren land. And the only species that really survived on land were the Lystrosaurus, which was a mammalian-like reptile. It was kind of mammal, but also kind of reptile. It had traits of both, but it survived because it was hardy. It was able to eat roots and tubers from the ground, and they can burrow underground and survive the extreme temperatures. They were dominant at this time. They were like pretty much the only land animals you would see because they had no other competition. But meanwhile, there were some reptiles still left, one of them called the Proterosaurus, which gave rise to the Archosaurs, which were the ancestors of the dinosaurs. It took nearly 30 million years to recover from that event, where life gradually and slowly came back. Along the coasts, you have vegetation starting to move more inland, like ferns and conifers, started moving inland towards the center of Pangaea. As the oceans recovered slowly, you have reptiles begin to slowly adapt towards the marine environments, towards the sea. So we have the emergence of